Greetings Legionnaires and welcome back to another reveal video. This is Iron Duke and today I have the privilege of finally being able to reveal my favourite of the Legions, the Salamanders. This is like Christmas come early for me, so let's see if Santa got me what's on my wish list or if I got a lump of coal. Now, again, it's Christmas time, pretty busy around here. It's going to be a short one today folks, or as short as I can possibly allow myself. So, with that said, let's just jump into it. First cab off the rank, we got the Donak squad, which is a 1-3 with frontline 4-2. And with a stat line like that, you better have a pretty good ability, because that is not strong. Now, I don't know if it's coincidence, but EG have been giving me every single reveal this time, they've given me a self-replicating troop. A troop which spawns more of itself, and we have the same situation here, but this is no Markov squad. Sacrifice, put in play one Donak squad. Now, the thing about Sacrifice is, it's not easy to pull off a lot of the time. It's not like a rally, it's not guaranteed, it's like a cherry on top. If all the stars align, you get your Sacrifice. So it really can't be considered as like the guaranteed part of an ability. So more times than not, this is a 2 energy 1-3 frontline, and that's just not good enough. That really isn't. The Sacrifice means it could potentially, as I said, all the stars align. This is a thorn in the enemy side where they don't have any way to deal with it. You went first, they didn't have a troop on the board, and then you're able to get your Sacrifice off repeatedly and just keep on spawning a front line that protects all your troops you're playing in the background. But that's not happening very often. If the opponent goes first and puts down a troop, if they have a single point of damage ping, if they are Angron, if they have a 3-2 flanker, and now the flanker has, and you still have to deal with the flanker. Just so many ways they deal with this before it has a chance to sacrifice, and you wasted a card slot and 2 energy for a single point of damage. In fact, I'm pretty sure this card has been misprinted, because let's have a look at some of the alternatives to this card. Here are just some of the cards I could find which were better statted for the same price, or cheaper with the same stats, or even better. Look at the Githwa there, the Death Guard. He's got essentially the same stats for 1 energy, but he has Survivor, which is better than the extra point of health. Remember, the Sacrifice ability is just a cherry on top. It's not a guaranteed rally or something, and so most of the time you can just discount it, and most of these troops, including, for example, the starting deck, Siren 12th Regiment, are better. And that's the neutral as well. EG, Everguild, I believe you've sent me the wrong card here. Make sure you put the correct version in the actual game, non-release tomorrow. I believe it should have a point of Survivor, or maybe an extra point of attack. Maybe it's meant to be cheaper. I don't know what you actually meant to do with this one, but yeah, you've sent the wrong copy, like an early draft or something. Well, the others have got to look better than this, right? Well, this is a bit more like it. This one is overstated with the 2 points of Survivor and the 7-8. This 8 energy troop is a chonky boy, and again, this is for 8 energy. This is basically 17 points of stats. That's good rate. 2 of them are Survivor. That's really good. In fact, he's going to be really tough to shift without a destroy effect or an outflank or something, which if the opponent's wasting his outflanks on your common cards, yeah, that's less for your legendaries, right? But he's also got extra text, which makes him even better, because when a friendly infantry dies, gain +1/+1 and front line. This is clearly trying to go into the combination Imperial Army Salamanders deck that EG seems to be going for this expansion for the Salamanders. I'm dubious about how well it will work, but if you are using that, this is definitely a card you want to include. It takes good advantage of it because you're bound to have infantry on board that you can sacrifice. You can throw at the opponent at the same time you place this troop down, and it'll come in as a 8-9 with Survivor 2 and Frontline. That's a great rate, in fact. And every infantry troop that dies counts for it. So you can easily, if you have a board full of 5 infantry troops, you put this thing down, you throw the 5 into it, and it comes out as a 12, 13 Survivor 2 Frontline, and there's no complaints there. If the Salamanders Imperial Army archetype ends up being viable, which I'd like to hope it is, but I'm dubious. If it's viable, this is definitely going to be part of it. Very decent card right here. But as always, I've been saving the best for last, and this next one is, in my opinion, the best of the Salamanders reveals we've seen this expansion. Possibly the best card in this entire phase of the expansion. Let's have a look at Mount Deathfire. A 5 energy epic tactic, and with this one, Salamanders finally have a bit of way to get card advantage, and they do it in a very Salamander style. Return to your hand 3 friendly troops that died this game. They cost 2 less. I love this card. It's, for starters, if the troops cost any more than 1, you have basically got energy advantage. You know, you're refunding 6 energy for 5. That's amazing, of course. And you're getting 3 cards, and you can kind of decide which 3 cards they are by your early plays. I mean, imagine this scenario. You put down a 2-drop. No, not you. Another one. Yes, that's better. Then you put down a 3-drop. They're dying off. Your opponent's killing your board off, as your opponent will try and do, of course. Then you put down your 4-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, Mount Deathfire. You get them back into your hand. They cost 2 less. You can immediately put down the 2-drop again. You don't even lose a lot of tempo, because you're immediately putting down a troop the same turn you play your card draw. And is there any better type of card draw than that? Late game, you get less choice about what you get to get back in your hand after all, but maybe then you're getting some huge, like maybe you're getting Forge Master Tekel back, or a 3-mana Bouncer Duke. I'm sure you can imagine the possibilities. Really strong card, I think. A really strong, one of the best we've seen all expansion, I think, and definitely an amazing addition to the Salamanders roster. I wish I could be as optimistic about some of the other ones. I'm dubious about how well the strategy of Imperial Army is going to play out, Imperial Army allies is going to play out. They already have a bit of support for it in their deck, but it's never been strong. It's never been the way to go. Maybe these new cards help it out. I'm a little bit disappointed that Salamanders didn't get something to affect the board. No rally effects or flank effects. There's a lot of flank and rally we're seeing in some of the new cards for the other legions, and I'm a little bit suspicious that the lack of it in the Salamanders roster is going to really hurt them as the game becomes more and more active. There's less chance to sit back and hope to get your sacrifice effects off if the opponent is able to flank or rally you to death. Sometimes, hey, there's some speeders out there that now rally, hit you for damage, and then get flank and kill another troop. So, yeah. The Salamanders might be dipping out by not getting anything along those lines. I'm optimistic though. That's still my favorite faction. I would love to see them turn out well after this expansion. Fingers crossed that it all works out for them. I just think that they might be losing out a little bit. But that's just my opinion. What do you think of these new cards? What do you think of the previous Salamanders cards? What do you think of the other cards in the expansion so far? Let me know. Let's have a discussion. I love chatting in the comments with anyone or on the Discord. Meet us over there on the official Discord, and feel free to hit me up to have a discussion about Salamanders, my favorite faction. Until next time, have a Merry Christmas everyone, and I'll see you on the battlefield.